our mystery guest today, and he said this. He said he began composing instrumental melodies on the mountain dulcimer at age 16. He uses recording software and special effects pedals to produce a unique ambient genre sound. He has recorded over 20 albums and often plays in various four-string equidistant tunings. His music blends together the standard, baritone, and bass dulcimers, and he has over 2 million streams. His relaxing, meditative instrumental songs have been featured on hundreds of playlists. Listeners use his soothing music and YouTube nature videos to enhance times of prayer, meditation, yoga, rest, and study. You may not know, Brian is a military chaplain, which I think is important to know. And according to Jerry Rockwell, Brian Bohlman has a way with the gentle sounds of the ambient dulcimer. He knows intuitively how to put together some of the most soothing and mesmerizing pieces I've ever heard on any instrument. I've worked with quite a few dulcimer students over the year, but Brian is in a class all by himself without any formal music training or connection to other dulcimer players or teachers. He has developed a remarkable catalog of original minimalist compositions. Jerry says, I look forward to hearing his music continue to evolve over the next few years. So, Brian, we're going to put you in the spotlight now. And let me see, I need to put this in a full screen to see just you. There you go. And I need to get rid of me.
Okay, well, I have my original sound on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, what a week it's been. First of all, Pat, thank you for inviting me to return to send in the music. I look forward to doing this again once I've mastered using my background tracks with my music, because what you need to know is I play a lot of minimalist music, which is 2, 3, 4 notes repetitive, and then I lay over top of that harmonics, bass, dulcimer, baritone, and kind of blend it together using a program called Studio One. If anyone on the Zoom is going to be at the Black Mountain Music Festival in October, I'm going to be teaching for the first time an introduction to recording digital music with a digital audio workstation. And my friend Joe Collins is going to be teaching how he uses Studio One to create backing tracks. So I kind of stumbled in on this once I got used to some of the technology, and it just sounded so good. My daughter, Mary Ellen, she was about 4 years ago, right before COVID, she's like, Dad, I think you ought to put your music out there. And she was using some app called Spotify. I didn't know what that was. I use music CDs. And so I found out about Spotify, and Jerry Rockwell has a large playlist on Spotify with his music and other relaxing acoustic instrumentals. So he was so kind to put some of my songs on his playlist, and then they just kind of showed up on other playlists. So Pat, thanks again for working with me this week. Literally, the way this is, I think, going to work is I have a microphone that I have clipped on, and I have a big amp down here. And can you hear that? I see hands up in the air and thumbs. Thank God. I think I have the whole world praying for me right now, because it's been one of those weeks. But I want to thank Tall Glazner. We worked out, we tried some things. Joe Collins last night worked with me on some things, and I promise the next time I come back, I'll have it mastered where I can actually play my background tracks, and then I can play the melody, mute the melody in my background tracks, and then play it on the dulcimer. So I want to show you what I'm actually playing here. Let me unhook real quick. So this is a creation of Jack Ferguson. This is what we call a 2x4 solid wood dulcimer, and I have to have a pickup in all of my instruments, and I have about 6 or 7 that Jack has made, but this one is really, really cool. It's a 2x4, and it's got cherry wood on the top, and I think that's walnut on the bottom. It's very lightweight, and this is a solid body bass dulcimer. What I love about these is very easy to transport. And I travel overseas quite a lot with the military, so I brought this over to Germany a few months ago and showed it off to some people, and it's, sorry about the noise, let me plug back in here. So I really love this, and I can answer some questions in between a couple of songs. Again, Jack Ferguson of Appalachian Flutes and Dulcimers. I primarily get all my dulcimers through Jack, and I really love the solid body. You know, you don't have a sound hole, so you have to have it hooked up to an amplifier. The other thing I'm doing is I'm playing with the Strymon Big Sky reverberator pedal. I might be able to show it to you real quick if the cable is long enough. Let's see here. So the last time I was here, I played with a reverb pedal, what was like half the size. But if Strymon Engineering, I highly recommend it if you're into pedals. The Big Sky reverberator has like 300 options, and I'm going to be playing with the cloud setting, and it has a very ambient, ethereal sound. I love the natural sound of the mountain dulcimer, but when you hook it up to a reverb pedal, especially if you have a pickup, oh my gosh, it just adds this heavenly sound to it. And reverb covers up for a lot of my mistakes. That's the other reason I love reverb so much. Again, Jerry Rockwell, my friend and mentor, we've never met in person, but one of these days I'm heading up to Ohio to meet Jerry. I heard his music when I was 16, and then I fell back in love with the dulcimer right before COVID started, and then I've just started recording lots and lots of music. Again, I love adding the sound effects. The music has been on workout playlists, study music, chill out, romance, yoga. It's funny to see how the dulcimer is getting out there, and I don't even know if a lot of people know what a dulcimer is, because they hear it and they think it's a guitar or a harp. So I'm kind of introducing the world to the mountain dulcimer when it's played through special effects. Just real quick, commercial. If you are interested in CDs, if you still have a CD player, Christmas Joy, hymns, and then I have all my original compositions. So I have some links that I sent to Pat, and she'll probably put them in the chat. But just wanted to get the commercial out of the way now. We have a daughter in college, so actually the money goes to help some nonprofit charities that support our military and veterans. And so I try to pick different charitable causes to support with my music. But they're available at brianbohlmanmusic.com. You can get the CDs, free shipping. The first song I like to play, and let me just see, is everything good? Sound is still good? Okay, let me just make sure how this sounds. Is that good? Okay, I see
Yes,
Cindy.
yes, yeah,
That's
we
good.
can hear it, yeah.
And then, okay, so we're just going to go with that, thank God.
Did you want to show your camera, though, to
Yes,
show what you're
I'm
doing?
gonna, I
Yes,
have these
okay.
notes, adjust
Okay.
camera. So this first song that I'm going to play is written by Isaac Watts in 1707, and it's one of my favorite hymns, and it sounds beautiful, again, with some reverb. It's When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. Now, originally I wanted to play this along with my backing tracks, but I couldn't get it to work this time. But next time, I promise, I'll make it even better presentation. So usually I have the bass line that I've pre-recorded, which is simply, and I'm playing in DAD, so I'm playing in DAD tuning. So I would just loop that bass pattern, and then I would play the melody over that. But I'm just going to go ahead and play what I can with a little bit of the bass line and then the melody. Maybe close your eyes and just let this song minister to you today. When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. So, can everybody hear that all right? All right, so I have made this available. Let me adjust my camera. I've made this available as a free download on a site called Bandcamp. And Bandcamp is a free website for musicians to upload their music directly and sell to anyone in the world. You can set your own prices, and so if you're looking to buy my music, it's the cheapest place to get it. I have my entire collection there for 65% off. So for about $54, you get 240 songs, all the albums. And what I like about Bandcamp is once you buy it, you can download the WAV file or the MP3, so it's yours, which is really nice. You can also stream it and listen. There's a free app on bandcamp.com, and you can search. Jerry Rockwell's got his music on there. A lot of people do. But it's a way that we can put our music out and immediately distribute it to the world. It's also available on Amazon, Apple, and Spotify. So and a lot of people have the apps for free downloads, or they pay the monthly subscription. So, but again, that's available to you. Before I play the second song, Pat, do you want me to answer a couple of questions? I know that a lot of people last time had questions about the reverb.
Well, the problem is that everybody's muted. If they write their question into the chat, then I'll make sure that you get them. Okay? So why don't you go ahead and play another song for us, if you don't mind, and then we'll give people a chance to ask the questions.
Sure. So this second song, let me adjust the camera here, is called Into the Light. And this is a song that I composed when I was recently traveling in Germany. This name of the song, Into the Light, is the title track to my next album, Into the Light, which is coming out on the 1st of November. So again, close your eyes, relax, and just maybe let go of anything that's causing you to be anxious, and listen to the gentle tones of the mountain dulcimer. Okay. I wish I
Brian,
had the
that was lovely. I have some people who still are having difficulty hearing you, so I want to share my screen and show them how to make their sound go up on their computers. Okay, so just let me take 1 second here.
Oh, sure, you're fine.
Okay, I am now, for all of you guys watching, I'm sharing my screen. You're looking at Pat's screen, okay? And I'm taking my cursor down here to this little microphone, and there's a little arrow next to it. I click on the arrow, and I get a menu. The last item on the menu is audio settings, and when I click on that, I come up here to speaker settings, which is what you're not hearing. You can turn that up by sliding this volume sound up. That makes your speaker goes up, and that's what you're not hearing. So let me stop this now. Let me tell you one more time, this arrow, bottom setting, audio settings, and then you get this thing, and you want to turn your speaker up. Okay? I hope that helps some of you. Okay, now just let me stop my share because they're still looking at my screen. Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, when I composed Into the Light, it's really amazing. I want to say it's a God-given gift because I didn't grow up. I've really not had official dulcimer lessons. I have had some lessons at Black Mountain, but I don't know how to read music. And I want to give a shout out to Jamie Mayhem. Jamie and I connected a few months ago, and I've had numerous people asking me, Brian, do you have a songbook? Do you have tab? Do you have, we'd love to learn some of your relaxing music. And, I just keep writing so much that I haven't really gone back and created tabs. So I connected with Kirk and Judy House, and they had mentioned Jamie, and so I got a hold of Jamie. And God bless Jamie. I think she might even be on the Zoom today. We started working together a few months ago, and literally I would send her sheets that look like this with numbers. It's kind of my own homemade tab, and then the song file, and Jamie would be able to take it. She's so gifted at this. She's done this for a lot of other like original musicians like the Eagles and a lot of different bands. So I think it's Sheet Music Plus is where you can find a lot of her tab. She's also on social media and most of the Dulcimer groups, so you can reach out to her if you need help creating tab. But I'm blessed to have Jamie helping me because my goal is to help put out a songbook soon with some of my best songs. And it's very easy. What I'm playing is very easy. I'm literally just, that last song, Into the Light, I'm just playing an open D, middle string, 4, and then the other string, the melody string 2. So it's just, and it's just again with the reverb, it just everything sounds amazing. With reverb.
Brian, you're not using your Studio One, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so that's unplugged.
Yes.
And the microphone?
Just playing through an amplifier, and the amplifier is picking up my
Okay, because some people are still saying they can't hear the music.
Huh.
They can hear you speak, but their sound's turned way up. Now, I hear you fine, and I hear the music fine, and a number of people are saying it's good for them also. So I don't know whether it's just bandwidth or what it is, but did you turn everything off on your computer, all the other programs? Did you close out of all your open programs? Because that's one thing that takes up bandwidth, and that's true for you guys listening. If you have programs open on your computer that you haven't shut down, then you may be sabotaging your bandwidth. So make sure everything is closed down but Zoom, and see if that works for you.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. I just saw your chat in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my camera is here, my laptop is over here. It's crazy, and then I have this mess here of music equipment. But again, all my music is available, and I'm sorry for those if you're not able to hear it. You can actually listen to entire tracks at the bandcamp.com site for free. So it's pretty cool. You can listen, I think, 3 times, and it asks you, do you want to buy it or not? But Pat, I think those are the only two songs I'm going to do because all my other stuff that I was going to do has the backing track. So those are the only two I could play. But I would really love to talk about and answer some questions. But real quick before I do that, I wanted to let everyone know I have a YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, I take my music and have nature scenes. So like waterfalls, falling snow, beach scenes, mountain scenes, and a lot of people I'm finding are using that for guided meditation and devotionals. So it's just simply, if you just Google, my last name is spelled Bohlman, and Brian's with an I, Brian. But if you just put my name in on Google, you'll find the YouTube channel. I think it's youtube.com @ Bohlman. And then one more shout out, and that's to Fiona Potts. Fiona is our new editor and publisher of Dulcimer Player News, and I wish I had the magazine to hold up. But when I returned from Germany, I said, Fiona, I know Erin May was over there, but while Erin and I were both there, unfortunately we didn't get to connect when she was in Germany. But she said, Brian, you've got to go down to Ludwigsburg, which is near Stuttgart. There's a guy named Martin, and he has a ton of dulcimers, and he likes reverb. So I went down on a Saturday evening and spent about 2 hours with Martin and had a blast. And I wrote an article about meeting Martin and bringing my dulcimers and trying and playing some of his. And it just reminded me that the dulcimer community is global, and literally when you're traveling, just do a Google search in those countries and you'll find dulcimer players. So a shout out to Erin May and Fiona. I'm looking forward to y'all reading that article. If you're not subscribing to Dulcimer Player News, it's a great magazine to be a part of. And I know they're doing something like the song sampler. So in November, when that next issue comes out, it'll have you will be able to listen to the next album, Into the Light, which is coming out in November. So okay, that's all I had on my notes. But I would love to answer some questions about any of my equipment. Just don't ask me about Zoom and Studio One and how it integrates, because I'm not a pro at that. So I think I need to look in the chat.
Yeah, their biggest issue is the sound. They're having, a lot of people are having trouble, and they're only hearing you through one ear. Now, I've got my earphones on, and I can hear you through both ears, and I hear you just fine. So again, it's got to do with, I think, people that don't have earbuds or a headset who are used to listening just to the computer sound. I think that might be the problem. And I don't know if it's from your end, Brian, or,
I don't know. I know this microphone that I'm hooked up to, it may be, I don't know. I just know I only have one input, and there's
see, we've got people saying their sound is excellent. So I am taping this, and you will be able to hear him on the tape, because what I see and hear is what goes on to the recording. Brian, play one more song. Let me twist your arm and play one more song for us.
All right, let's see. I was going to play Sunspots, which again is you're hearing music for the first time in public. Well, and I tell people, like when I played at Black Mountain 2 years ago, Erin May and Bing and a few other teachers really encouraged me to get up on open mic night. So I had never played in front of anybody before, and it was an act of faith. Let's just say that, because I'm really more of a studio musician. I like to record these loops and then work with the Studio One to make it sound amazing. So let's see if I could.
Hey, Brian, can you turn the volume on your instrument up?
Yeah. So that's not loud enough?
Keep going.
All right. I have an amp here that gets really loud.
Okay, is that better? I'm just checking right into the chats if you think that's better. I think it's louder. So, they can hear you. Yeah, it's better.
Can.
Yes, now they can. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
this is a Champion 100 amp, and it's only on 1.5.
Look at us. Look at us, you guys. We are solving problems on the fly. Okay. So you go ahead and play us one more song so they really get to hear what we're hearing.
All right, I have to look at my notes here, whoops, and just see, hang on one second. So I can try to play the song Sunspots, but I really wish I could play through the backing tracks. Let me see if there's another one I can play. Let's see. Well, I guess I can play just the bass loop on this one, and you'll have to imagine the lead. I only have two hands, but you know how it is, you can't, like, because this song is so pretty, but it has nature sounds, and that's something else I want to talk about. I've added nature sounds into some of my tracks, so like birds, running water, wind, and it creates an entirely new dimension to music. But if it has the running water, I tell people, like, don't listen to it right when you get up in the morning because you're going to be running to the bathroom. But anyway, all right.
Becky Elam just suggested that you play one of the tunes you already played, like maybe the Wondrous Cross, because some people didn't hear it.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay?
All right.
Thanks, Becky. Great idea.
I want you to be able to see, too. Okay, added a little harmonics there at the end.
Well, they heard it. They said it was much better, and I'm glad for that. But I have a question for you, okay? I noticed that you play, as you say, minimalist. You know, you're playing simple notes, and the pedal is sustaining the sound. Is that right? You couldn't play something with lots of arpeggios or a lot of finger picking or that kind of thing because it would overwhelm the sound?
I think so, because there's a lot of sustain. So I can actually turn off, let's see if there's a way to turn off the reverb and just play the natural sounds of this. Let's see. Yeah, so so this is just natural sound of this dulcimer, solid body.
That's not still coming through an amplifier.
It is coming through.
Yeah, because it's the sounds are still sustained.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah.
The strings. So I believe Jack Ferguson I think they're called flat wound strings. So there's no
squeak. Yeah.
A little bit of a squeak, but not much. Not much.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of his instruments have this natural, almost reverb sound. But again, the Big Sky, Strymon Big Sky, just, if you use the cloud. So some of my favorite reverb settings are on the cloud setting. There's probably 6 or 7, and they're names of different clouds like Nimbus, Cumulus. So those are some of my favorite. They just sound amazing.
Yeah.
So I would love to, let's see here. I had a little note about showing off equipment. So I don't know. I'm out of Studio One, but if you want, Pat, I could share my screen and just show them.
Okay, I have to make you a co-host so you can share because you can't share without that. Okay, now you can share.
Okay, let's see here. And share sound, optimize for video clip. So So you should be looking now at Studio One. Can you see that?
Yes, we
Okay.
can see it.
So
Yeah.
here's my bass loop, and it just continues. And then I have a melody, and then I have harmonics down here. So and I'll try to play it, but I don't think you're going to hear it.
No, we can't hear it.
Could you hear that?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah, we tried that earlier.
Yeah, we did.
So, anyway, but that's what I do is I create a loop. It's either the bass or the melody, and then I add additional. These are all tracks over here on the left-hand side, and that's how. And then down here I have the timing, and then the tempo, 77 beats per minute. At Black Mountain, I'm going to show folks in the class how I'm actually going to use this song as the example. Here's how you record the bass track, and then you can loop it. Once I tell people the secret of this is if you're playing a hymn or another song that someone else has written, and say it has 3 verses, as long as you can get one of the verses down perfect, then you can duplicate it 3 times or 4 times if it's 4 verses. So the Studio One is really, really a nice software to have because it has a lot of cool features, and it's very inexpensive. And then I know you have one of these, Pat. Let me stop sharing real quick, and I'll show everybody what so this right here is the Studio One audio box. It's just a box, and I've got a microphone plugged in here, and then I have the amp plugged in over there. But anyway, it's really cool software. You can get it from Amazon. It's called Studio One, and there's a free version of the digital audio workstation, or DAW, D-A-W. And it's YouTube. I learned everything on YouTube.
So Brian, you're a one-man band.
Yes.
You're playing all the different parts. If we had an ensemble piece, you're playing all the different parts of the ensemble, right? That makes you a one-man
Yes.
band. Yeah.
And I've had my brother, he plays keyboards, and he's professionally trained, and he's taken some of my music. I probably have 10 songs where my brother Dan is featured on those songs. And then I have a friend in Germany that plays the hammer dulcimer, Valentina Batura, and some of you have maybe heard our music together. And so it's fun to collaborate with other musicians and have them add their expertise
Right.
to the song.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brian. This was really interesting. In spite of all our challenges, it really was. And I know that people are going to go and listen to your music now because it's really lovely. And as you say, it reduces stress.
Yeah, I think King David played the harp, right? And we know in the book of Psalms, the evil spirits left. It did something for him and his listeners, and plus he wrote most of the Psalms. So I think music and journaling are 2 avenues of healing. And as Pat said, I've served in the military just over 31 years in the chaplain corps, and I'm finding that music can help people dealing with whether that's post-traumatic stress or relationship stress, work stress. There's something about relaxing instrumental music that transports people out of their situation to like a beach, a mountain, in their own imagination. And so I'm very glad that my daughter said, hey, you ought to put your music out there, Dad. And then, getting up at Black Mountain for open mic night and playing. So I look forward to being part of this community for many, many years. I'll be retiring for the service in a few years, and I'd like to spend a little bit more time doing things like this and teaching other people how to play relaxing instrumental music on the mountain dulcimer. So thanks, Pat, so much for your time.
You're welcome. We
and
appreciate
for
your, we
sending the
appreciate.
music. You guys are amazing. And last thing I'll say, I think there are people on 3 continents watching today, because I sent this out to some different people in Germany, and I have a brother overseas in Asia. So who knows how many people are joining you and then watching the replay, but it's been great to be here again, and thanks again for helping me with
Thank you so much.
challenges.
Yeah.